Ba, 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 ba.
Da-na, da-na, do-do-do-do.
Ba 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 ba
Oh my God.
ba.
Da-na, da-na,
Ba ba ba
do-do-do.
ba 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 ba.
Rob and Coach were late. And
But
now
we
they
always
do.
are.
And now here's late Crendor. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. Dirt,
Hey,
dirt,
what's up?
dirt.
I mean, really, it's, it is what it is. It's just a matter of how late I am.
Somebody on
Which-
Twitter said, if they're always late, why even bother showing up on time? It's like, yeah, sorry for being, responsible, a
Dude,
grown
this guy's
up,
an idiot. He shows up on time.
punctual.
What a freaking moron, dude.
Yeah, what an idiot I
Showing
am.
up on time.
Freaking idiot. God.
This just
Oh,
in,
yeah.
that guy's a moron.
Yep. Thank you.
Dude, this is
50 Rob.
that's already higher production value than the ESPN broadcast.
I know, it's incredible.
We got here is Alvin Kamara is going to be MVP. Mark my words, a booger. Sure thing,
my God.
booger. Sure
So-
thing.
Down to the 40,
Yeah, well-
to the 30, to the 20.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Week one
Yeah, how's it going?
in the books, coach.
Yep. Week
Looks it.
1 is in the books.
And what a humdinger it was.
Man, it sure was.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's one way to describe it.
Yep. That's whew. So first up, let's I want to start with the Antonio Brown news because I feel like it's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that happened after last week's, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. So Antonio Brown went crazy. He got fined. He went crazy again. He got fined. He got crazy about the fines. He got fined for that. He threatened to beat up Mike Mayock, and then he released his private private call he had with John Gruden, who's like, "Hey, listen, man, what the fuck's going on here?" And then he was like, "Hey, look at this shit." And then he got released, and then he signed with the Patriots 10 minutes later.
Yep.
So,
It's actually literally 12 hours later.
He was
yeah,
on
it was.
he was on a plane that Robert Kraft had flown to him before it was even announced publicly that the Raiders dropped him.
Really?
I mean, there was a contract waiting for him. That's just all.
This is somewhat unrelated, by the way, but I just wanted to mention it. I did see in the Sunday NFL Countdown, they showed a clip of him leaving that private plane, and for some reason, the man was carrying a about maybe 1 gallon, 2 gallon glass jug of milk, unopened, into his limo from the private plane. What is Antonio Brown? Who is this person?
I don't know at this point. He's actually an insane person, or he's just trying to get out of his contract, or both. I think it's both.
It was all. This is what I'm gonna say. It's pretty obvious that he was just trying to get out of his contract. Him and Drew Rosenhaus apparently did some research on how to get fired faster via social media, and apparently ran with that. He posted a video of him receiving the news as soon as he found out the Raiders had dropped him, and he ran around in the backyard like a happy little kid in the rain.
Yeah, you can see the video
And
online.
he's like, "God's good, man. God's good." And I was like, "Oh."
It's like, and then after that, it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna go play for the Patriots now because they needed more help, and they just handed him a contract. They even dropped 2 players, so good on you, the Crafts.
Yep.
I mean, it's the biggest. It's definitely the biggest sideshow circus I have seen in a very long time, and I already wasn't on I'm gonna support AB. I was not planning on riding that train, and now I'm just throwing away the season ticket at that point.
Yeah.
I don't care what he does. I don't care how good he ends up being or how good he has been. Just total clown fiesta of a trash person.
He's a clown.
He's
absolute
total clown. And everyone on Twitter who's trying to equate him to T.O. or Randy Moss, no, get that trash out of here. this is beyond something that T.O. or Randy Moss or even Ocho Cinco would have done. This goes above
far
football.
beyond.
This guy is just straight up manipulating everything around the situation, acting like he's crazy. Everyone wants to try to say, "Oh, he's got CTE." No, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a piece of trash. And
apparently, he's been doing this since like college.
Yeah,
like this isn't new.
Yeah,
dude. Like, so I mean, hear me out. I don't want to sound like a guy with a hat made of tinfoil here, but the whole
But here we go.
situation, yeah, the whole fucking situation with Antonio Brown and the Raiders, it stinks to high hell. Like, it is fishy as fuck. Like, the dude was talking to like social media consultants while he was on the Raiders, like the entire time, apparently, trying to figure out how to get fired, right? And now, like, the Steelers and the Patriots have their own actual rivalry in the playoffs, by the way, and the Steelers get shit on constantly. Apparently, Antonio Brown was requesting to be traded to the Patriots, and the Patriots apparently even offered a first-round pick, but the Steelers refused to trade with the Patriots, so they traded him to the Raiders for not a first-round pick, for a third and a fifth. And it seems like he never really fucking intended to play for the Raiders at all, because he comes into camp, right, and he fucks up his feet, which I still don't want to think he's crazy enough to intentionally injure himself in order to get out of this contract, but maybe he fucking did, because the first 2 weeks of preseason he doesn't practice. Then he makes up some crazy bullshit about the helmet and all this, and then he gets into a fight with Mike Mayock, and then an even further fight, and then he records John Gruden and posts it on social media, records a private phone call, which might actually be just a crime in that state, by the way.
That's felony wiretapping.
Yeah, so like, and then he doesn't play the rest of the preseason. So I'm gonna be honest, I have my suspicions that he didn't even look at the Raiders playbook at all, and his intention entirely this whole offseason was to fuck over the Raiders and every member of that team to go to the Patriots.
I don't think he
would. You have to also, if the rest of this shit is true, then you also know that Bill Belichick fucking orchestrated this shit. Because remember, as soon as he gets released from the fucking Raiders, he's apparently on a jet before the official announcement even was made public, and it was only 12 hours after the release, so literally no time could have happened where he visited other teams. Like, literally, it was just already set in stone before he got himself fired.
And they didn't even give him like the veteran minimum or anything. It was like a full-blown contract.
Yeah, it's an actual contract.
$15 million in 1 year. And $9 million signing bonus. Like, I'm not going to go so far as to say that I think Belichick orchestrated it. I'm not that far down the rabbit hole, but it is very obvious it's clear now what the play was. He was not planning on playing for the Raiders. This was the plan all along, and it finally came out in the open, and we all
something has to happen. Like, there has to be some sort of investigation, or like just there's
the
something.
NFL said that they will not do an investigation.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
because there's the problem. The problem is that he got exactly what he wanted from Oakland. But the Raiders straight up like fired him. So he's not he's not supposed to receive any money for that deal at all. He immediately became an unrestricted free agent, which means that he can go with whoever he wants, whoever will sign him, and that's 100% legal. That's the loophole that he needed for all this to happen. So there's not going to be any official investigation, like Rob just said, but I hope, I am praying that, and I'm not insinuating anyone's going to get injured, even though I want a double barrel to the back of Jameis Winston's noggin. But I am hoping that plenty of bridges were burned on the football field when game time comes, when he returns back to the field. I want someone hunting on him, because man, as someone who's played football, this entire thing was absolutely infuriating. It was actually aggravating, like just how he was just getting away with it, and he was happy. He was so totally happy.
It was like a spoiled kid.
He got exactly what he wanted, and that just sucks, man.
So like, full cards on the table, I think Antonio Brown is a massive piece of shit, and I don't like him even one bit. And I especially don't like him now he's on the Patriots.
Yeah,
so
enjoy
full
that
cards
route.
on the table there here. But devil's advocate, for the sake of not necessarily Antonio Brown, but for other players, to a degree, you know, I have even the desire to say like what he did is unfair, and maybe the NFL should look into changing some rules about how shit goes down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, the current situation is if a player is in AB's place, imagine he wasn't AB. Imagine he was the sweetest guy you could ever imagine. And he doesn't want to play for the team that he's on because, you know, maybe theoretically they have actually mistreated him. Say they're the Washington Redskins in this case. And and he actually wants to go somewhere, but they want to fuck him and say like, oh no, we're only trading you to the, I don't know, whoever the shittiest team in football is. And
Dolphins.
he has no Dolphins, there you go. And he has no recourse. He has nothing that he can do at that point.
Yeah.
So like I'm not necessarily gonna be defending what Antonio Brown did or the man himself, but when we're talking about it from like a law or rules perspective, I feel like it should just be. Well, yeah, I mean, like I feel like maybe there should just be a smoothed out, like a more smoothed out process. For
the system needs some work.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean, the only thing that you can do would be like,
rules.
if somebody becomes an unrestricted free agent, they are not eligible to play for that season. That's the only thing I can think of, because if you have someone who's a disgruntled worker, right? And let's say that you're working at a software company and you decide to throw a shit fit and you're like, oh, I'm done with this crap, blah blah blah, and you're purposely trying to get fired, and your now former company's rival decides to pick you up either as a big FU to that company or because you're actually talented and they want you there. There's no regulation that says you can't do that. And the same thing goes with the NFL. You know what I mean? What can they actually do though?
Maybe here I've got like a Band-Aid rule here that might be helpful. I don't know if this, I mean, I literally just thought of this, so I have no idea whether it's a good idea or not. But maybe teams could, on, you know, every year designate teams that they won't trade with, you know, like maybe a certain number of teams, or like, you know, anyone in our division and a designated rival. And then, you know, and then that maybe, you know, bringing the player that wants to be traded into the conversation, as long as it's not one of those officially written down teams that team will not trade with. Like maybe that's like a middle ground, a compromise for the players.
They already have restrictions. They've got restrictions on trades though, and signings. That sort of thing. It's the problem is that when they become an unrestricted free agent.
Right, but I'm trying to like stop a situation.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But still, you can't really, like, at a certain point, the players' association can be like, no, this player has the right to go wherever the hell he wants as long as he's fired. But like, that's why I said the only thing I can think of from a rule standpoint, or just to try to fix the system, is that if you are fired, it doesn't matter what the process was, whatever. If you are fired before season begins, you are ineligible to play for that season if you get signed either by a certain date or before a certain date, something like that. You know, like before like week 8, before the trade deadline, you are not eligible to play for that season.
Well, here's the thing: is like this is such a specific situation that isn't gonna happen like all the time, because most people that act like this, they'd be like, oh, cut them, they're gone, whatever. But he's so talented as one of the best players at his position that people put up with it. And so they're like, well, that doesn't happen all the time. Because usually people are either normal, or
it is pretty unprecedented.
I've never seen anything like this happen.
No, this is great. This is NBA levels of ludicrous.
Yeah.
Like when I saw Twitter and people were like they were already memes before it was even made public, like hours before the Patriots thing. People were memeing like, you know, this just in, Bill Belichick, you know, has McDonald's with AB.
I made those jokes. Everyone on earth made those fucking jokes, and then
everyone was memeing. Yeah, and I was like,
so poorly written, man. Like, it's so predictable.
And I was like, there's no way after everything that he just did with the Raiders, there's no way, not even the Patriots would give this guy an opportunity. But then there it is.
And I suspect if this thing is fishy, then Bill Belichick fucking orchestrated this. Because if it's not, and Antonio Brown had no communications with Bill Belichick, why would he feel comfortable with a player that just did all that other crazy shit to get cut from his team without speaking to him about, like, why he was doing that? Why would he instantly snatch him up without talking to him? You know what I mean?
Well, in New England, he's gonna have like the shortest leash as well. Like if he does anything, they'll be like, "Oh, you're gone."
Yeah, but he's playing
team player.
Yeah, but he's playing for a team that he wants to play for, so of course he's gonna. It's gonna make like, there's the great reformer Belichick doing it again. It's like, no, the guy wants to play for the freaking Patriots. Of course it's gonna be fun. Where is he gonna go?
I just thought of another Band-Aid solution.
All right.
This might be good. How about if a team can cut a player that's holding out, and then they get an automatic compensatory pick of some kind, like maybe like a third or something.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be too bad.
I kind
Get something.
Kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole draft thing, though.
Well, I mean, like it's not going to happen that often that a team is going to cut a player who's holding out. Like, even look at the players who held out this year, right? Like, most of those guys got their deals done eventually. Teams mostly want to do it, but if you have like a case like AB, right, you could just cut him and get the free third-round pick, rather than give the team a little bit more leeway to put that boot on his throat and say, like, no, we're going to trade you to where we want to trade you. You know what I mean?
I have never seen, like, bottom line for this one.
Right.
I think we can safe to say that division is just wrapped up. And just screw the division, the conference is wrapped up. You got freaking Tom Brady throwing. He was already throwing to Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman, and now Antonio Brown. There is absolutely
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah. There is no defense alive or dead that is going to be able to contain that passing attack with Tom Brady.
Barring injury.
There's
always injury.
Yeah.
There are only 3 possible saviors.
Rob's
for all of the NFL.
Iron to the back of the
injury god.
Yeah. And so, well, maybe 4 possible saviors.
Yeah, you better get your alibis in order there, Rob, before you start saying anything else.
Maybe Antonio Brown. Here's number 1. Antonio Brown is maybe too fucking crazy, and maybe he doesn't. He's not actually good anymore because he's so fucking crazy, right? Number 1, that could happen, and maybe that'll hurt the Patriots.
Yeah.
Number 2, maybe Antonio Brown is really fucking crazy and internally implodes the Patriots, and that becomes the end of their dynasty. I like that option. I hope it's option B. And option C is our only true option, and that is the return of the Blessed One, 3-Lie. 3-Lie Manning will have to topple the Tom Brady dynasty again. The
last
not a good
time
start
he
for
had 3-Lie.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, but
Well, let's move on to not Antonio Brown.
To the Jets.
The Jets. Well,
it is kind of
the
related.
Patriots have actually traded Demaryius Thomas to the Jets.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yep, the Patriots have traded Demaryius Thomas to the Jets for a 6th round 2021 pick.
What the fuck?
It was he was one of the 2 cut for Antonio Brown.
No, but he's being traded. Why are the Patriots trading?
Well, okay, not cut. I mean they're making roster space is what I meant.
They re-signed him in hopes of trading him, and now they've traded him.
So this is the first trade that Bill Belichick has ever done with the New York Jets.
Yep.
That is very. Did he put he put a bomb in Demaryius Thomas, right? Like, stitched it into his belly or something. He's gonna kill the whole team. What the hell is happening? Why did he trade him?
He's probably just laughing like, hey, here you go. Have the scraps.
Well, whatever. I'm pretty happy about that. That sounds awesome. We have a number 1 receiver.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, Demaryius Thomas is good. He's only going to make Sam Darnold stronger. So
yeah.
Congrats, Rob. You're still not winning the division, but congrats.
Oh God, no. We're going 1-15.
So let's jump into all the games.
Yep.
So I'll go with the first game that happened, which was a fantastic game. The Packers defeating the Chicago Bears 10-3 in Soldier Field on opening night.
Game. That's a good way to
Yeah, humdinger. Thanks, Aaron Rodgers, for the 10 points.
And, well, okay. First up, the Packers have a defense, which I've been saying this whole time, and thank God, because we haven't had a defense since 2010 when we won the Super Bowl.
Or the Bears have no offense. It's still week 1.
Which
well,
is like
okay.
what I
Here's
said
the
too.
thing. Last year, we allowed the Bears to score 28 points on us with their shitty offense. All right? Now, we've held them to 3 because we actually have a capable, even if our defense is like ranked 13, that's still good enough for Aaron Rodgers to be like, dude, I can put up like 20 points and we only hold them to 14. Like, normally we'd get like, here we go, Cardinals-Packers playoff game. It's 45-40. Aaron Rodgers couldn't get that extra touchdown. It's like, oh, great. So we always played the bend, don't break game. But now we're playing the like, just shut them down game. And I'm like, this is great. I love this. So, first up, okay, so I heard Greg Jennings on Colin Cowherd. All right?
Yeah.
Already a terrible show. And he was like, if I'm a Packers fan, I got to be worried. Aaron Rodgers only puts up 7 points. Then he flips it around and he's like, Packers defense, whoa, hold on there. You're playing the shitty Bears offense. And I was like, pause, timeout. You can't make that argument and then just be like, Aaron Rodgers, oh, he had to play against, one of the top defenses in the entire NFL. He only put up 7 points. Whatever. He's not doing good. But the other side, Packers defense, play shit. It's like it's the same argument. It's the same argument. Like that tilted me off the planet. So
Coach is off his rocker. Someone bring him back to ground level.
Like, reminder, this Bears defense was ranked like number 1 last year. It carried them. It was so good. And now, like, Aaron Rodgers gets 200 yards and a touchdown against them and we win. Like, that's a win to me in like a new scheme, a new offense. Like, maybe in like 3 weeks, if we're still doing this, I'll be like, yeah. But, right now I'm like, hey, that's fine. I
mean, congrats on holding that vaunted running attack from the Chicago Bears coach, Mike Davis, 5 carries for 19 yards. And Dave Montgomery, classic good fantasy draft value pick right there, 6 carries for 18 yards. Very nice. And then Mitch Trubisky coming in third place with 3 for 11. And finally we have Cordarrelle Patterson with 1 carry of -2 yards.
Now,
how did you do it?
Well, here's the thing, all right? All of last year, we had 0 pass rush. Like, we played the shitty Bears offense and had 0 pass rush. We couldn't pass rush anybody. We had Clay Matthews and Nick Perry, and they combined for like 40 pressures the whole season or something. Za'Darius and Preston Smith had 16 together this game alone. They nearly got halfway to our entire pass rush core of last year in one game. Like, that shows how terrible our pass defenses have been. And then just Adrian Amos, all the Bears fans, this would be like, we'll take Amos. He's not good. We'll take HaHa. HaHa didn't do shit. All right, just like I predicted. He didn't do anything. Amos gets the game-clinching interception, essentially. And he literally was just following Mitch Trubisky's, like, tunnel vision the whole way. Where he's like, Allen Robinson? Nope. Okay. That was his whole game plan, was like, find Allen Robinson, and if he's not open, don't do anything.
How happy were you that you were able to take down Clinton Dix, coach?
Very happy with that.
He was on par. He and Mac had the exact same stats, save for one, but they both had 5 tackles, which,
the big thing here, my big takeaways from this game was the Packers do have a deep, like Darnell Savage. I was really happy when we got that pick.
Yeah.
He looked really good. He made some like great breaks on the ball. He almost had an interception. Kevin King stayed healthy. He almost had an interception. He played great. Alexander was covering really well. Like, we had great coverage all around. Amos did his part. Like, our pass rush was good. Like, that's all we need. And then Marquez Valdez-Scantling busting out with a huge catch. And then Jimmy Graham. Did you know he plays basketball? He went up, got that Aaron Rodgers lob.
Yeah.
Just like a basketball player.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. So, I mean, and even Mercedes Lewis, like, had some catch. Like, overall, it was a pretty solid week 1. Like, I was very happy with that, especially on the road against a rival.
I gotta say, Blake Martinez is a freaking monster, dude.
Yeah, like he's quietly put together a really solid career so far. Like,
him
leads
and
the
Kevin
team in
King
tackles.
they're fun to watch.
I mean, ultimately, win's a win.
Yeah, that's the thing. Win's a win, especially on the road against a potential like team you're going against for the playoffs.
Yeah,
like having that tiebreaker.
It would be nice if we knew what a week 1 win felt like. Sure would.
Reminder. All right, people are like, Bears, the same thing happened last year. Packers started 1-0, and look what happened. All right, the vibes you get are completely different. Last year's vibe was like, oh my God, thank God Aaron Rodgers carried us out of that one, drugged up, like barely, like it was just whatever. And then this year, it was like, dude, that felt like a solid win. Like this, just the vibe in general, and even just having a new coach and like more players, and like it's a different team, different vibe. So I feel more confident. And I know Clay Matthews isn't going to get game-ending roughing the passer penalties to lose us 2 games, and Ty Montgomery's not here to fumble it on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, now it's just game-ending pass interference plays.
Well, you can even challenge those now. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone done that yet?
Yeah, it happened in the Bucs game.
Oh.
It was the Bucs. They also did it for, I want to say not Ravens game. There's another one of the later games that they challenged. It may have been the Arizona game.
Well, speaking of the Bucs, let's hop into that one.
Yeah, there we go. All right, on to the Jets. Rod, how you feeling? How you feeling about that?
31-17 49ers win in what was a very shitty game. I saw parts of that.
Yeah.
Just turnovers, fumbles, penalties, 4 touchdowns called back by penalties.
Yep. Way to go, Tampa. That's good.
Jameson Winston is so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob.
He'll make a good throw, and then he'll make like 3 terrible throws, and it's like, oh.
No, he doesn't make any good throws. I mean, Mike Evans is being wasted.
At the end of the game, he gets you guys within range, right? And then I think maybe the Niners score again or something, or even not. Like, and then on the last throw, it just his first play, he just throws a pick six.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob. Good,
I will say the Bucs defense looked all right for like the first half.
Yep.
So
Sure
that was
did.
something.
I'm no longer on the Bruce Arians train, coach. I'm ready for. I was really excited to see Bruce come down to Tampa. I really was. Then I saw and watched and could not believe what I was hearing for the post game interview when being questioned about how he thought of Jameis's play. Bruce Arians. This is not. I'm paraphrasing here, but this is not embellishing at all.
All right.
He only blamed Jameis for 1 of the interceptions, and it was because the receiver ran, quote, a hook route when he should have been going an out route. Now, which Bruce did not flat out say was Jameis's fault. He was more of like, oh yeah, that was kind of the receiver, it was miscommunication, blah blah blah. When asked about the other 2 interceptions, by the way, he didn't answer it. He's like, yeah, we'll just take a look at the tape and get right back to work. I was encouraged by this. We saw some good things, and we've got a lot of good stuff to build on. Bruce, it's year 4, Bruce. Kill this guy already. Just shoot him.
I mean,
don't let him play football anymore, Bruce. What are you doing?
I wanna say for in defense of your team and in defense of Bruce Arians, like, it's gonna be a rebuild. Like, everybody knows it's gonna be a rebuild. And if he says nice things about Jameis Winston, it's because he's just he
should have stayed retired. He's
going through the motions.
No, he should have stayed retired. He should have stayed retired. We should have gotten somebody else. There are zero teams that would start Jameis Winston in this league for the last couple of seasons.
How much I wish that I had Bruce Arians. I would have happily had that man over Adam Case.
QB whisperer, yeah, QB whisperer, my ass.
Well, even on the other side, the 49ers didn't do great. Like, Garoppolo looked kind of
Yeah.
The running game was like okay, like they could be a solid. They feel like they're on par. Like if they played each other 5 weeks in a row, they'd probably go like very evenly every one of those weeks. So yeah, it was a game. Now we can get to the fantastic Jets Bills game. Man, that looked like a Jets win.
Why, Bruce? Why are you wasting your time in Tampa if you're going to try to vindicate Jameis Winston's terrible play? Why?
Listen,
Yeah.
there's no saving the Buccaneers, all right? Just let them
You know, who's your backup? Who's your backup anyway?
I don't freaking
Vincent
care.
Testaverde.
Oh, right, dude.
Vincent, slide him in, dude.
Yo.
Vincent Testaverde.
By week 3, you're gonna have Vinny Testaverde as your QB.
That's
and
fine.
It's gonna be hilarious.
That's fine. I would rather Brad Johnson come out of retirement and play. I would rather have Trent Dilfer come back. I'd rather have Jeff Garcia come back. Jameis Winston is terrible. He's absolutely terrible. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah,
As a Bucs fan, the most I realize we're trying to move on here, but you have to understand how pissed off I am because Arians was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to, out of all since Gruden, he is the most storied coach to take the reins at Tampa. He was supposed to be the guy to literally right the ship. But then he comes out at the post game and starts making excuses for Winston. He doesn't even acknowledge the 2 other interceptions that were clearly his fault. One of them, one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen him throw since that last time that he did it last year. He doesn't even acknowledge it. He said he was encouraged. He's happy with the progress, blah, blah. Bruce, you lost to the Niners at home on week 1, 31-17. You got beat by Jimmy freaking Garoppolo, who threw for 1 touchdown and 1 pick and almost outscored Winston. It's awful.
Yeah.
The Bucs are awful. I'm done. I'm freaking done with Bruce Arians. Get him out of here. Let Jesse coach the Bucs or something at this point.
Well, that's how the Bucs are doing. So how the Jets doing?
You know, I can't judge you too harshly, Sinvicta, because I feel very similarly right now after only a single game. Because I'll tell you the story of the Jets. I'll tell you the story of this week 1 of the New York Jets. And in order to tell you the story of the New York Jets in week 1, we need to turn back time several months.
Okay.
So we need to turn back time a couple of months. So the Jets, the organization, thought it would be a good idea to change our coach and change our GM. And they decided that the best way to do that would be to fire our coach, Todd Bowles, thank God, and keep our GM, Mike Maccagnan. I don't know why, but they did. And then Mike Maccagnan, along with Christopher Johnson, selected our new coach, Adam Gase, a failed Miami Dolphins incest baby. Then Mike Maccagnan, the brilliant man that he is, he decides that, well, the Jets for the past 5 years since Nick Folk had retired have been struggling to find a kicker. We had gone through many years of kicking distress until we finally happened upon Jason Myers, who last year had a Pro Bowl year. Guess what we did?
Got rid of him.
We got rid of him. So, fast forward to a couple of months later, by the way. We decide after the draft that we're going to fire our GM now, and we're going to hire Joe Douglas. So, this GM who you knew you were going to fire, right? This GM you knew you were going to fire. You didn't want him in there. You let him control the next head coach, control the fate of our draft, the fate of our free agency. Which, I mean, ultimately, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. He did pretty well on free agency, so I'm not going to be too salty about that. But I mean, like, it just blows my mind. It just blows me the fuck away, honestly. And of course, you know, it comes to game day, and the kicker that we have on the field, instead of a Pro Bowl kicker, is a player who literally had never worn a Jets uniform before that day. Steps on the field, does a bunch of practice kicks, sucks ass at them. There's a guy named Vedvik. And then he gets into the game and misses an extra point and a field goal. By the way, we lost by 1 point. So if he had even made just the extra point, he would have at least tied the fucking game. So that was our kicker in the game. The first half was pretty fucking great. Our defense looked awesome. Our defense they forced 4 turnovers, which was fantastic. Josh Allen looked like he was getting shit on, and they were just getting completely shit stomped. Our offense looked like garbage because despite the fact that we had 4 turnovers, including a pick 6, we didn't get the extra point on that pick 6, so we had only 6 points. And our offense couldn't make any points off of any of those turnovers. So, that was pretty shitty, but then we fast forward into the second half. And in the second half, well, all of a sudden, we're up 16-0. The offense lights up. We get a touchdown by tossing it into the end zone with Le'Veon Bell. We get actually multiple touchdowns, basically, because they get two of them, one of them gets called back, and we had to do a 2-point conversion, and they did and succeeded, and they were all awesome, and they were very exciting. And we're up 16-0. By the way, Josh Allen, I want to mention, he threw 2 picks and he fumbled 2 times, as well as he also threw 2 other picks, pretty much. One got called back because our shitty third string, or actually our starting fucking corner right now, Darryl Roberts, who turns out he sucks major balls. He decided to commit a penalty on one of the turnovers. He decided to just commit a penalty 10 yards in the other direction, when Marcus May, got an awesome pick. So, and then the other one, Marcus May just dropped, but he jumped the route in the end zone. So, Josh Allen threw basically 4 interceptions today. The 2 that he's actually counted for are ones where he, laser rocketed it into a guy that was, 5 yards away from him, and, of course, it just hits them on the hands, and it's a tip drill. So, everything's going pretty well, right? I mean, the offense isn't looking great, but, we're in the third quarter. We just scored. It feels pretty good. We're up 16-0. Surely nothing could go wrong. We have a -4 turnover differential. In the last 15 years, teams that had that were -4 in the turnover battle, like the Buffalo Bills, were 308-1, less than 3% of the time. Surely, this new era of Jets, surely this new culture, surely these Jets would not have to lose in literally historic fashion like they always fucking do.
Surely.
Until the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. And instead of being up 16-0, we end up 17-16 in a loss. We had a 97% chance to win. I am furious, and I'm even more furious at Adam Gase, who for some stupid fucking reason, I had hope for, and I had hope for this team. Somehow I convinced myself that Adam Gase would maybe be a good coach, and we get into the fucking game, 2nd and long, running back draw, why not? 3rd and long, running back draw, why not? 3rd and long? Oh, how about a fucking screen? Why don't we just do some screens? I love screens. Let's just do all the fucking 3rd 50. Yeah, let's run a fucking screen.
Yep.
Damn, you got the Mike McCarthy special over there.
And now the rational side of me wants to say that maybe this was just the game plan for the Bills, and that's why our offense looked so fucking garbage.
Yep.
But I don't truly believe that. And on the bright side, Le'Veon Bell looked really good. He looks like he's covered in fucking Crisco. Everybody was slipping and sliding off of that man.
Yeah.
He was catching
He
balls.
actually looked fantastic.
Yeah, he looked really good. So that's great. Also, Jameson Crowder looked amazing. Actually, that was a great offseason pickup by Joe Douglas. 14 receptions for 99 yards, no touchdowns, but still. Sammy D did not look great that day. He missed basically three really big plays to Robbie Anderson. They're not really on the same page chemistry-wise, which is a little bit unfortunate, and it's a little bit of a concern that he's still missing on deep shots, because it was a concern last year, and we were hoping that he'd short it up. So he's a little bit, but I mean, with that said too, the offensive line looked fucking terrible. Like Sam Darnold had like 5 seconds, like not even, it had like less than half of a second to throw the fucking ball. So that's another reason why I think we did a lot of screens, by the way.
But Rob.
Yeah.
Rob.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to not have Jameis Winston as your quarterback?
Like, that feels pretty good, but here's the thing, right? So Sam Darnold was 28 of 41 on the day. That is a 68% completion percentage, right? That's basically 70%. That's about as high as it gets.
Yeah,
more
basically.
or less, right? And the average yards per completions are 4.3. Do you understand why I'm very angry? He was completing balls. It's just they wouldn't let him fucking throw. So it doesn't matter how good Sam Darnold is. It doesn't even matter how much better he could potentially be than Jameis Winston. They don't fucking let him throw the goddamn ball. And
hey, but on the bright side, the Jets are trying out the ex-practice squad kicker from the Packers, Sam Ficken.
Yeah.
We could have had a Pro Bowl kicker. That'd have been great. I'm sure glad we saved that $3 million fucking dollars. Oh, I'm real glad to see it sitting there in our accounts.
Hey, maybe you'll draft a kicker next draft.
And Kari Vedvik has been waived as well.
So. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get hired to do one thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he was with the Ravens, and then they traded him to the Vikings, and they're like, dude, this Norse guy is going to be kicking field goals for the Vikings, and then they cut him.
Yeah.
And wasted a draft pick, like, trade for him, and then the Jets got him, and then now they say
I was like, when I watched that, I was like, why did they get this guy? Well, I thought he was supposed to be.
Dude, it's amazing to think about, though, by the way, like, that there aren't 32 competent people on planet Earth that can kick a field goal through uprights. Like, there aren't 32, just that, on all of planet Earth. 7 billion people. There aren't 32 of them.
Yeah, that's... I'm happy with Mason Crosby.
Yeah.
Yep. Congrats on your win, Coach.
Hey, I want to mention with Buffalo, Devin Singletary, 4 carries, 70 yards.
Yep.
Yeah, he looked pretty good actually. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this, but part of the reason that we, fell so fucking hard at the final 3 minutes of the third quarter is we got injured to fucking hell. Like Quinnen Williams, our first round pick, he was out on the day. CJ Mosley, as soon as he went out, our defense just crumbled apart. They couldn't stop anything. Hopefully he's playing week 2. Apparently he's like saying that he's gonna play week 2. So apparently we need CJ Mosley. If we don't, and I gotta say, when he was playing, he was a fucking beast. Like he was super good. So I was very happy to see him. So hopefully he's healthy. And of course we lost Avery Williamson in the offseason to injury. So that sucks. So our linebacker core, it seems like it needs some more depth because we just got destroyed when CJ Mosley went out.
Also, big Jets news. Nathan Shepard has been suspended, defensive tackle.
Oh. Really?
For violating the league's PED policy and has publicly admitted to taking banned substances. So that's number 72 overall pick of last year's draft.
Yeah, that sucks. Thanks, Mike McCagnon. Good pick, man.
Yep.
That'll get you every time.
So we go to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Yep. They are who we were trying to pretend they weren't, Coach.
Well, remember, I mentioned when we were all like, Cleveland Browns, it's like, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if the Titans kind of like snuck in there and won this one. But they did more than that. They like blew them out towards the end.
You can't really say that when all of us picked the Browns.
I let's go back and listen to last week's thing. I was like, Titan, like
You can't
the
play
Titans
both
were the
sides of
team.
fence like that though. For the
Yeah, but when everyone's like, dude, here comes the new Browns, choo choo, we're all on the hype train.
But you picked the Browns anyway, Coach.
Well, I had to pick the Browns.
You
But
pretty
now
much
I'm not
have
so
no
sure.
choice at this point. Yeah.
The Titans last year were that team. Like they beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like they either show up and play amazing like this, or they show up and do terribly. And it's kind of like the flip of the coin team. Mariota, 14 of 24, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Derrick Henry had 84 yards and a touchdown on 19 carries. A.J. Brown, 3 catches, 100 yards.
Yep.
So that looks like they found a wide receiver.
Delaney
Walker's
went
back.
Yeah, he went freaking insane.
Yeah, 5 catches, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then their defense, just crazy. Cameron Wake, 2.5 sacks. Logan Ryan, 7 tackles, a sack and a half, and a pick. Kenny Vaccaro, 6 tackles. Like, their defense looks really good. And if their offense looks this good as well, like, they can be competing with the Texans probably for that division.
Jeez, I didn't even know Cameron Wake was still playing. He's 36.
I didn't either.
It's like some Terrell Suggs numbers.
Yeah, seriously.
That's crazy.
And he's playing well. He's got 2.5 sacks.
Yeah, that's intense.
And then we have Baker on the other side, throwing up that game. Baker.
Yeah.
Baker.
285 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions.
Actually, I wish Jameis Winston threw 285 yards.
I mean, here's what I'll say for the Browns. I think that, they're a new team, they're exciting, and, it's the second year, so teams have figured it out. It figured them out. So it might be a couple of weeks before they get into the swing of things and they get that team together. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I still think that they have a chance of getting to the playoffs. Like, I think they have a significantly good chance. Now, I will say, though, it looks like, granted, it doesn't look like their offense did well, but it definitely looks like their defense did fucking terrible. So maybe losing Greg Williams to the Jets was a mistake. Granted, it's a sample size of 1, but if that's a trend that continues where the Browns are just getting shit on defensively, because they shouldn't, because they've got really a really good defense actually.
Taking a look at this, they've got let's see, Joe Schobert, never heard of him. They have Morgan Burnett, who was with the Packers for like 8 years. Yeah. And I guess I think it's one of those, the Browns have the old Packers GM, so he was just like, come on over here. But he got a sack and 5 tackles, but I don't know how well he covers anymore. Myles Garrett had 2 sacks. That's solid. I think their defense played well for the first half. They only allowed 12 points, and then the second half, it just blew open. So I don't know if, just game planning in the locker room, adjustments and everything, and they just weren't ready for it.
I think that they and the rest of the world need a reality check, because everyone, we are, no matter what coach says, we are all guilty of hyping up this Browns team.
Oh yeah,
true. Oh,
and they needed to be brought down back to earth to realize.
So is the media.
Yeah, and us included. Not that I'm saying we're part of the media, but you know what I mean. I think that this is actually a positive thing for them. I hate losing my freaking lock of the freaking whatever. Look, I think that it's good for them. It's good for everybody to realize that it doesn't matter how much hype you have on any given Sunday, you can be put in the dirt. And that's exactly what the Titans did. And honestly, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I Baker is the kind of player that adversity fuels.
He needed to be shut up and say, hey, by the way, stop talking, start playing football.
Yeah.
So if and he's the kind of guy that can get fired up. So if this is what turns him on, then more power to him, I suppose.
Right. So turned on right now.
Just wait until week 3, Baker, please. I would prefer that.
Rob's not there yet. Give him 2 weeks to warm up there, Baker. For the record, we all picked the Packers to win. We all picked the Browns to win as well. And all of us, including Bear, picked the Jets to take over the Bills.
Yep.
Nice.
So did the commentators on
Yep.
Sunday NFL Football Countdown.
Yes.
So like when that happened, I was like, oh no.
Yep.
Man, I should have known. I should have just went Buffalo and been
When-
the Jets will blow it.
When Dan Deerdorf is saying the Jets are going to win, that's when you know it's time to go.
So
And thank you again to Hippo Nora for once again picking up the reins.
Yes,
we didn't
thank you
ask
very
him.
much.
We didn't ask him to, but he did anyway. For doing the pick'ems and stuff.
Also, Nick Chubb, 75 yards on 17 carries. That's not bad. They still had Odell getting 71 yards, Jarvis Landry 67. So like they didn't do terrible. Njoku had a touchdown, 37. It's just I think they do need some time to kind of gel and get going and everything.
Yeah, they needed a reality check and a kick to the head, and that's exactly what they got. And I think it's going to benefit the Browns
What's
more
nice-
than anybody.
What's nice for the Titans now is they have Mariota, but if he starts like getting injured or doing badly, they have Tannehill as the backup.
right.
so
oh
that's
yeah, I forgot about that.
Really nice, actually.
He
He
also
almost won the
has-
starting job.
2 carries for -2 yards. Ryan
That
Tannehill.
sounds
Those are
right.
those are Neal's.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that makes sense.
Oh,
Not the
so I guess
Wildcat.
Mariota's one of those guys that doesn't want to lower his average, so he's got Ryan Tannehill to come out.
I mean,
with Neal's.
for the
He
record,
does like to run.
I'm only
Yeah.
assuming. I don't know if they're actually Neal's or not. I don't.
They probably
No,
are.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
And like Mariota's a running QB, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So those were mainly the teams we cared about. So let's go over the other games quickly here. We had Chiefs Jaguars. Sad time for the Jaguars. Big Dick Nick, 5 of 8, 75 yards, a touchdown, and a shattered
he's
shoulder.
gone.
Yeah, boom goes the dynamite.
Yep,
Yeah.
boom goes the clavicle.
But
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew came in and actually looked good. 22 of 25, 275 yards, 2 TDs, and a pick. Like, that's not bad for some random dude that sounds like some sort of nut.
It's not just not bad; it's very good. Like it's like his rating is 122.5. I see on ESPN here his QBR rating is 79.7. He hit 22 out of 25 completions, and that's with an 11 yards per completion or per pass attempt average. 11 yards. So that's okay. So that's what's the percentage? That's 88% completion percentage at 11 yards average. That's fucking insane.
Buccaneers would love him.
Yep,
Yeah.
thanks, coach. Thank you.
I mean, it's like that if he comes in here and starts, this is like a Kurt Warner situation, maybe. Now it is only week 1, but
Yeah.
I have Jaguar hope.
It's
And
only,
I just
it's
feel
only
bad
week
for him.
1 here, but we're gonna go ahead and call this a Super Bowl
This
winner.
is like when the 49er guy came in. What was his name? From last year.
Oh, Nick Mullins. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick Mullins.
yeah.
I feel like it's that same type of situation.
Well, see, but here's the thing though. Like granted, that looks really fucking good, and I think you have to be at least reasonably good enough to do that. In general, but let's keep in mind this is the Chiefs defense.
yeah.
So you remember them last year. So if they're
Yeah.
anything like that, which is, to be honest, likely, then this is also a potential, reason.
I will be right back. Someone's knocking at my door apparently.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now let me Leonard Fournette, 13 carries, 66 yards. Not too bad.
Yeah.
The top receiver on the Jaguars, DJ Chark.
Yeah.
DJ Chark.
DJ Chark.
Cool name.
Yeah.
No idea who he is, but apparently he was like on the Vikings or like their practice squad or somewhere. He's got a Viking picture.
He's only 22.
Yeah, and he went to LSU apparently, but who knows? Maybe Minshew and Chark.
No,
are the-
he was their second round pick. And he had fucking 4 receptions for 146 yards. That's insane.
Oh, you know what? I thought it was the Vikings as LSU colors. It looks the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow. If he turns out to be great, like
Yeah.
there you go. That's at least a bright spot for the Jaguars. But because I mean, hey, you at least put up a fight with the Chiefs.
Mhm.
That's better than what the Dolphins did with the Ravens.
There's some other Chiefs news. Tyreke Hill got injured. Now,
He sure did.
I don't root for people to get injured, and I don't think that
Oh, I think
that's
it's
right.
I think it's like if somebody gets injured, you don't want it to happen. But if somebody does get injured,
Yeah,
and it's
I
somebody
can
you
tell
don't like,
you-
you're like, eh.
Yeah, I can tell you that I'm not at all sad about that situation. I'm not happy,
Yeah.
but I'm really, really, really not sad. I want to emphasize that. Also, other Chiefs news. I had Sammy Watkins on the fucking bench on my
Yeah.
fantasy football game, and I still
He only
won.
had 200
thankfully.
yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Jesus.
thank God for that, Rob.
Yeah, I would have shit stomped you into the ground if I had him starting.
I almost took him too. I was like, I feel like he's gonna do well, and I was like, nah. Well, now I'm like, oh shit, dude. LaShawn McCoy, 81 yards on 10 carries, not too bad.
Yeah,
In fact, it's very good.
yeah, that's 8.1 yards per carry.
So I think the big thing here is the Chiefs are still good. Is what it boils down to.
Yep.
Even without Kareem Hunt and ass clown.
Yep.
So that's they're still Chiefs, still gonna be pretty solid. Next up, we had the Vikings pretty much blowing out the Falcons, which shocked me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me a great deal, to be honest with you.
Well, I guess what shocked me the most was just the Falcons not doing anything. Like, they were down 28-0 in the third quarter. They lost 28-12, but, like, they probably switched to a prevent defense and then garbage time yards come in. Like,
Yeah.
28-0, man. Biggest thing, Kirk Cousins, 8 of 10, 98 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
He threw the ball 10 times. That's it.
That's crazy.
They ran the ball 38 times? 40
38 times, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 38 times. 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, Dalvin Cook.
Well, they scored 21 points in the first half, so it was like 21 to nothing, and then in the third quarter it was 28 to nothing, like you were saying. So
Yeah.
just pound the fucking rock, man.
Just Anthony Harris, 2 interceptions. Anthony Barr sack. Daniel Hunter sack. Linval Joseph sack. Everson Griffin sack. Vikings defense is still very good. It's still a very good defense. So that's why.
And if they have their running game now, I'm telling you, man, Kirk Cousins is not someone to. I know you guys don't respect him, but he's not someone to fuck around with. And if Dalvin Cook, and if Dalvin Cook is who he says who we think he is, then I think we could see that Minnesota Vikings team of 2 years ago, because the main difference between the team last year and the year before was the running game.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the Packers' game plan. It's just shut down the run and then make them throw.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be the clear cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I don't even mind that because I think our secondary is good enough to stop it. So I think it's going to be a really good game with Packers-Vikings this week. And it's in Green Bay. So
Yeah,
that'll be a good match. It could be a division winner matchup, whoever wins it. Last place Bears. But on the other side, Falcons, like, Matt Ryan, 33 of 46, 304 yards, 2 TDs, 2 ints. They had no running game.
Yep.
Ito Smith, 6 carries, 31 yards. Devontae Freeman, 8 carries, 19 yards.
I just feel so bad for Matt Ryan in general.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of those QBs that, like, I know there's always some QB that people are like, oh, they're wasting his career. This fucking poor guy, he's getting his career fucking wasted. Because it's like he's not even recognized as, like, one of the best QB. Like, when people talk about the best QBs in football, they don't talk about Matt Ryan. And it's not because of his stats, because his stats are crazy. Like, they're always good.
Yeah, and he's got Austin Hooper, Calvin Ridley had a touchdown. Like, Julio Jones actually didn't do very well. He had a touchdown, but 31 yards. Mohamed Sanu, he's got receivers. Just, I feel like his defense, the defense they have, somebody was mentioning it, it's a very, like, try to pass rush the quarterback when you're up by points is essentially their defense. They don't have a good run stopping defense. They're all very fast and, like, skinny and agile. So when they just start getting pounded by Devontae Cook or Dalvin Cook, and he, they just got no answer for it. They're like, well, all right. I think that's the Falcons defense. It almost reminds me of, like, these old Packer defenses. They're like, we need speed and we need agility. And then they're like, and we got run over. All right. Yeah. So now it's like, dude, we don't have that anymore.
Breaking news, we need speed and we need agility.
Speaking of speed and agility, the Ravens destroying the shitty Dolphins. 59-10. They had 42 points at halftime.
Dinger.
Lamar Jackson, 17 of 20, 324 yards, 16.2 yards per attempt, 5 touchdowns, a perfect 158.3 rating. That is as high as that metric goes, and a near perfect QBR of 99.4, and only 3 carries for 6 yards.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And if it was against anybody but the Dolphins, I would be like, wow, that's crazy. It's still very impressive, though. It's still an NFL team.
I said this on Twitter to another person who was having totally reasonable. You have reasonable doubts for Lamar Jackson. I'll concede that. But what I said to them was, I don't think Lamar Jackson last year could beat the Miami Dolphins of this year the way that this Lamar Jackson did it to them. I don't think he could do that last year. And if that's the case, right? And Lamar Jackson has awakened, then the rest of the fucking league is in trouble, in my opinion. That guy will shit stomp everyone.
They are scary.
People in Madden, I'm sure, will be furious. So, yeah.
It's like the new Michael Vick, essentially.
Yeah. But the thing that I like about Lamar Jackson, because a lot of people will say well, yeah, but he's like Michael Vick, so Michael Vick didn't do all that much in the league. And that's true, but Michael Vick, by his own admission, besides the dogfighting, also never trained at all. He didn't do any preparation when he was a kid. He completely shirked all that responsibility off because he didn't need to, because he had natural arm talent and of course his insane running ability. So he didn't actually need to prepare. Lamar Jackson, over the course of every year in college, improved in passing. So far in the NFL, Lamar Jackson seems like he's improved in passing one year to the next as well, which means he's learning, which means he's being taught, and which means that he's actually taking it in my opinion. So if that is the case, then I think that is more predictive of future success, that he had to work to get his where he is,
He also had the help of Mark Ingram running for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns.
True.
Gus Edwards, 56 yards. Justice Hill, 27 yards. Anthony Levine had a carry for 60 yards. That's a big one.
And RG3 threw a touchdown as well.
Yep. RG3 went 6 for 6 for 55 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
He could be learning RG3's secrets from back in the day.
Oh, no. Poor Josh Rosen. 1 for
Josh
3,
Rosen.
5 yards, 1.7 yards per attempt, and 1 pick.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah,
Josh.
I feel bad for him.
He had
But Fitzpatrick, 1 TD, 1 int, 185 yards. And I believe he's now the first quarterback to throw 8 interceptions, split across, or no, an interception for 8 teams. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
Congrats to
Marquis Brown.
Completion percentage. Yeah.
Marquis Brown, 147 yards, 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Not too bad for him either. And then Earl Thomas.
Hollywood Brown, by the way. Did you see any of his plays? They were huge bombs.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They were crazy.
Yeah.
And then Earl Thomas, ex-Seahawk, getting a pick for the Ravens. So Ravens looking pretty good. Dolphins looking like they're tanking for Tua. So that'll be interesting. Apparently, also after the game, many Dolphins players called their agents to try and get trades.
Yeah.
reportedly up to 10 players called because they didn't want to tank on purpose.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Dolphins, man, is that again, it just looks like a team is just blatantly fucking tanking, and I don't think you can do that in the NFL. I think you
get beat up too much.
Yeah, you're gonna have a mutiny. No fucking 24-year-old who's getting paid, $500K on a rookie contract wants to or a veteran wants to stick around on a deal and just get their body destroyed for a year.
Ryan Fitzpatrick does.
Yeah.
He's just happy to keep playing.
Much, yeah.
I put a message in the other chat though.
All right.
Just to let you know, Coach.
All right. if the Packers want to pick up Minka Fitzpatrick, they could do that. So, all right, let's breeze through some of these other games. We had Eagles beat the Redskins. Redskins looked like they were doing great, up 20-7, and then they blew it.
Yep.
Case Keenum though looked pretty solid, 380 yards, 3 TDs.
I like Case Keenum.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it looks like he's having a revival over there. They have no running game though. Darius Geis got hurt, 10 carries, 18 yards. Chris Thompson, 10 yards on 3 carries. That's it's never good. But Vernon Davis,
he hurdled,
had a crazy hurdle
a man.
of a man.
Hurdled a man.
Hurdled him.
Yeah.
I actually think
hurdled.
Case Keenum could have a good year this year because the main reason that he was garbage in Denver is they didn't let him play to his strengths, which is just short passing. And if the Redskins are letting him do that, then he'll be effective for him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Carson Wentz, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, looking pretty good.
Yeah, how happy was Deshaun Jackson to be back on a good team?
154 yards and 2 touchdowns, probably pretty happy.
10 targets, he was 8 for 10.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He actually put on a fucking show for his first game back.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on. When did he leave Philadelphia? Like 2014, 13?
Oh,
Yeah, it was around there.
Something like that, yeah.
So, hey, Eagles, even though they look bad in the first half, rebound the second half, look pretty solid.
Yeah.
Then we had the Rams-Panthers. Rams winning 30-27, in which was a pretty close game, to be honest. Todd Gurley had 97 yards. Goff had a TD and a pick for 186 yards, so not that great. But Cam Newton threw 239 yards and a pick. Not great for him either.
Yeah, it was a closer game than the game shouldn't have been as close as the scoreboard reflected, but the Panthers were playing better in the second half, obviously. But
I believe you mean the Carolina McCaffreys, because Christian McCaffrey had 128 rushing yards with 2 TDs and 81 receiving yards.
And Bear auto-drafted him.
Yeah, and he Bear auto-drafted.
Yeah, and Bear's going to win the league now. So
Did he win his first game, by the way?
He sure did. He blew it out.
He was the number 1 scorer by far.
Classic Patriots fan, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Chargers beat the Colts 30-24, in which was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I was watching most of it. Yeah, the Jacoby Brissett, 190 yards, 2 TDs, 21 of 27.
Dude,
pretty good.
I'm telling you, the brisket, man.
Yeah. And Marlon Mack, 174 yards and a touchdown on 25 carries, 7 yards a carry average. Wow.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Well, they brought it back to overtime for that game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
It was really
Phillip
close.
Rivers had 333 yards, 3 TDs, and a pick. Austin Eckler had that big carry in overtime.
Yep.
Keenan Allen had 123 yards and a TD. And Eckler had 96 yards and 2 TDs receiving.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's not.
I think, it's one of those things where I think both these teams are probably going to be pretty competitive. Chargers are going to be pretty solid. Colts, I think, will be better than a lot of people think so. Or think they are. But,
including our predictions, Coach?
Well, I am doing pretty all right. So, compared to your predictions, I think they'll do better.
I went 12-4. I felt good.
That's absolute madness
I did
right
too.
there.
We actually all went 12-4-1.
No,
Lions...
I'm talking about the predictions before the season started when we were talking about the division and going up to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I went back on that and made sure the Jets lost every game.
Yeah.
Mine looks different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also Oakland is nowhere near the top anymore.
Yeah. Man, Lions, Cardinals tied in true Lions fashion, being up 17-3 at the half. Dan Giesling tweeting, man, this Lions team looks like Super Bowl bound. I was like, Dan, it's the Cardinals. And he's like, they got some players. And I was like, do they, though? Turns out they do, because they tied the Lions and almost beat them.
They should have beat them.
Because
they should have.
Last year, game 1 with the Lions, Dan tweeted me before the game shit talking, saying the Lions were going to stomp the Jets, and that was the game where it was 50 something to 3. Oh
yeah.
The start of his seasons are not so good, dude. With this game, did you guys watch this?
I did not.
I watched some of it in the second half.
I watched the highlights.
I watched it just because. Well, I didn't watch the whole thing, obviously, but I watched it because I wanted to see Kyler Murray. Dude, Like, he looked like garbage all game. He looked like a tiny little boy, which is what he looks like at all times, to be totally honest with you. But then in that fourth quarter, he just fucking turned it on. Like, he was just hitting people nonstop, and he's got a fucking rocket for an arm. Like, he was hitting fucking people on a frozen rope and shit for like 40 yards. I'm telling you, like, this guy is the real deal. And if he's been awakened too, then I'm going to be very, very fucking mad that the Jets didn't get Cliff Kingsbury either.
Yeah.
But
hey, Larry Fitzgerald, 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Not bad for like being like 40 years old.
Oh, I hope he has his best season this year. That'd be amazing.
I do too. But hey, how about the Lions? Even though they blew it in true Lions fashion, Matt Stafford almost had 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. TJ Hawkinson, who I wanted the Packers to take, 131 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Solid tight end there. Danny Amendola, 100 yards TD.
Yeah.
Although I heard people complaining that he like stayed in bounds and didn't get out or something like that.
Looks like we still don't have a running game for Matt Stafford.
They do not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Lions, man. You see this coming. Week 1 tie. It's the Lions. So next up we had Bengals Seahawks, which I saw a decent amount of, and the Bengals surprised me. Andy Dalton, 418 yards, 2 TDs. They had no running game though. Joe Mixon, 10 yards, 6 carries. Bernard, 21 yards, 7 carries. That was the big difference, I think. John Ross, 158 yards, 2 TDs. But their defense looked solid, and the Seahawks looked like the Seahawks. They look like they're good enough to get into the wild card, and then maybe they'll,
I'll tell you
do
what,
something crazy.
Dalton looked way better than Wilson did. That's for dang sure.
He did. Wilson, 14 of 20, 196 yards, 2 TDs. So not bad, but
I mean, that's pretty good. It's just not.
How about DK Metcalf, 89 yards, 4 catches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wish we got him too.
Yeah. Jadeveon Clowney had a sack. And, I mean, Seahawks, honestly, I thought the Bengals, it's either the Bengals are better than I thought they were, or the Seahawks are worse than I thought they were. So they did lose Earl Thomas. So, I mean, they've lost, and they lost Doug Baldwin as well. But if DK Metcalf is any good, that's bad for everybody.
He looked pretty good. So.
Dude, that AFC North is wide open, man.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Which, Patriots beat the Steelers 33-3.
Yeah.
Steelers kicked a field goal on the 1-yard line, which everybody's talking about in the second quarter. Yep.
I didn't even watch that. Once I saw New England starting to stomp them, I was like, I don't need to see.
It was all the rage on Twitter, Rob.
Yeah. I didn't need to see Chris Collinsworth gargling Tom Brady's balls live on TV.
Oh my god, I love this guy.
You're talking about a guy right here.
Cowboys beating the Giants, although the Giants are bad. Barkley still had 120 yards, but only 11 carries. And Eli Manning, 306 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones, 3 of 4, 17 yards. Look out, everybody.
Look out, Eli.
Jabril Peppers, 6 tackles from the Browns. But the Cowboys, man, Elliott only had 53 yards on 13 carries. But receiving, Michael Gallup, 158 yards. Amari Cooper, 100 yards and a touchdown. Randall Cobb, good old Randall Cobb, 69 yards and a touchdown. Still got it. Jason Witten, a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, Cowboys gonna be pretty competitive. It's gonna be a Cowboy-Eagle division, is what it's seeming like.
Yeah.
And then Saints, Texans. What a game that was.
Great fucking game.
Yeah. Great game.
Good job, Texans. You had one job. One job.
Dude, that was like, I don't think you can be mad at the very least, you can't be mad at Deshaun Watson. He had a literal miracle come from behind.
That loss was on the defense. It was long.
Miracle touchdown with 55 seconds left. He's like on the ground at the end of it. It's miraculous. It's wonderful. I was like, holy fucking shit. But Unfortunately, standing on the other sideline was His Holiness himself, Drew
Rob's
Brees'
best friend, the most underrated quarterback of all time.
Drew Brees' Christ himself, and 55 seconds and 1 timeout is way too long for him because.
Well, it also helps having a kicker that can make a 58-yard field goal.
Well, that's true too. I mean, Will Lutz did hit a 58-yarder, but still, I mean.
Normally I wouldn't care, but here's my fantasy kicker, Will Lutz, getting me big points off that kick and giving me the win in fantasy.
But like the way that Drew Brees did it though was fucking surgical.
Just dissected him.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, I just how.
And Booger's like, you can't give him the plays out there. And I was like, oh my god, really? So yeah, and then the ESPN broadcast thought it was a great idea to have every play pop up with yellow, so it looked like a flag was being called on every play, and then they changed it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Classic ESPN.
Yep.
But the Texans look a lot better than I thought they would, especially the running. Carlos Hyde, 83 yards and 10 carries. Duke Johnson looked all right. So I mean, I think the Texans are gonna be pretty solid.
Dude, Deshaun Watson, 3 touchdowns, 268 yards, 66% completion percentage. It's very good.
Yeah. And finally, we had Broncos Raiders, which was okay.
Raiders, dude.
Derek Carr looked good.
Yeah.
Even Joshua Jacobs.
Antonio Brown.
I mean, as much as
Tyrell
I admit
Williams
it too, like so did Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's not bad. Like, he gets made fun of and everything. He's not bad. He's just not good. He's that solid, like, middle of the pack quarterback. He's gonna get the job done.
Yeah, basically.
So, but yeah, it was a game. Joshua Jacobs looked pretty solid, 85 yards, 2 TDs. I mean, I don't think either of these teams are gonna be making the playoffs, but we'll see.
You know who Flacco is better than?
I would say all the Buccaneers quarterbacks.
That's correct, Coach.
The past 20 years, probably. I don't know, dude. I think the Raiders could surprise people this year. I still think that.
Well, I don't. So that's this week's games, all wrapped up. Sinvicta, do you have the NFL Power Rankings?
Here we go, Coach. NFL Power Rankings for Week 2 of the NFL Power Rankings on the playoff prediction front, Coach.
Woo!
Week 2 ready for the playoffs. Now, I'm going to test you right now. Top 5, Rob. This is only for Rob. Go.
All right.
Top 5. Patriots, obviously. I will say Saints are up there. Chiefs are probably still up there. Rams are probably still up there. And I want to say the Seahawks.
It's incorrect, Rob. The Philadelphia Eagles rounding out the top 5 with the Saints falling from 3 to 4. The Chiefs moving up from 4 to 3. Rams staying at 2. And the Patriots staying at 1, Rob. Now, Coach Krendor. Coach Krendor.
Yep.
The Packers, your Green Bay Packers, true or false? The Packers have broken the top 10 in the NFL.com power rankings on NFL.com, the Bible of the Internet.com.
I'm going to go with true. I think they have.
That is absolutely 100% correct, Coach.
Woo.
The Packers have now broken the top 10, unseating the Chicago Bears, who fell 5 places from 6 to 11. Packers rising from 14 to 10 like the Phoenixes they are. Random Seahawks, Vikings, and Cowboys rounding out the top 10 of the power rankings here. Now, Robert, your New York Jets, the New York Jets, true or false?
They've dropped, yes. True, it's true. They dropped to nothing. They're 32.
True or false, Rob?
Yeah.
The Jets have moved.
Oh, that's the end of the statement. Yes, true.
That is 100% incorrect. The Jets have stayed at the 22nd position, locked in, ironclad deal.
All right, you know what? I can respect it.
So, congrats to the Jets. And now this is for both of you here before we go on to the team that doesn't matter anymore. Falling 9 places.
Oh, boy.
The largest move of the week, Coach. 9 places. What team in the NFL has fallen 9 places after week 1?
I would say after all those games, it'd probably be the Steelers.
Robert.
I unfortunately think it's probably the Cleveland Browns.
As incorrect, both of you. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars, falling from 17th to 26th. With the Browns, as you mentioned it, the Browns did fall 6 places from 15 to 21. The Raiders rising 5, Niners rising 5, Bills rising 6. Texans actually bottoming out the top 15. The Steelers dropped 6. Titans went up by 7.
Oh, so
Wow.
me and the Browns are right next to each other, huh?
Here we go. This is the ultimate question here that you're going to get, Coach and Rob. True or false?
Yep.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now the 32nd ranked team in the NFL.com for the NFL Power Rankings. True or false?
True.
I'd say false because I think it's the Dolphins.
Oh. Yeah, all right, false.
That is correct, both of you. The Buccaneers have fallen to the 31st position.
Oh.
Yeah.
They are now ranked behind both of the teams that tied. But here's the final question, Coach.
Yep.
And Rob. True or false? The Cardinals and the Lions are now ranked above teams that actually have gotten a loss.
Ooh.
True or false? The Lions and the Cardinals, after posting a tie, they are now ranking above teams that actually have a loss. True or false?
False.
Robert.
True.
It's a trick question because only the Cardinals have moved
you son of
from
a bitch.
31st to 30th. They are still ranked behind the Giants and the Redskins, but unbelievably, the Detroit Lions are still ranked above above everybody. They're 27th.
Huh.
They've actually fallen one thanks to the Jacksonville Jaguars pushing everything down. And that is it for the power rankings. Good job, Rob. You will beat the Browns next week if something doesn't happen soon.
I hope so.
Wowee. Well,
Dun-dun-dun.
let's get in
Dun-dun-dun.
to the pick'ems.
Pick'ems, 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 pick'ems.
Oh, wait, hold
Thank
on.
you for that
Give me a
soundbite.
second. Just give me a second here.
Okay.
All right.
Here comes!
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
Raising the production value around here.
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Buccaneers Panthers Thursday night game.
Panthers.
Get ready.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers on that one.
Yep. That's my lock of the week, Coach. I'm calling it right now. It's lock of the week, Panthers.
Lock of the week. Then we have the Cardinals Ravens.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go Ravens with that one.
I'm
Yep.
going to go Ravens too, but I think that might actually end up being a good game.
I don't.
I don't either.
Fair enough.
It's
Going with the Ravens.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think the Ravens are just too good. Chargers Lions.
Chargers.
Yep. Chargers got
Part
it,
of me
Coach.
thinks the Lions are gonna do some like revenge, like come on, let's go. But I can't not pick the Chargers here. I gotta pick the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Colts Titans.
Surprisingly, might be a great game. After what the Titans did, it's hard not to pick them over the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And they're at home.
So I'm not going to. I picked the Titans.
Yeah, I'm picking the Titans.
Yeah, I'll pick the Titans too.
But it wouldn't surprise me if the Colts won. But
It
I'm
wouldn't,
picking the Titans. Especially how flip-flop the Titans are. But maybe they've changed.
Could be.
But maybe not. 49ers Bengals. I'm actually going to take the Bengals here.
I'm with you. I'm taking the Bengals too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that the Bengals are the easy pick. The Niners beat the Bucks.
And the Bengals almost beat the Seahawks. So by mathematics, this should equal a Bengals win. Jaguars Texans.
Humdinger. Gonna be the Texans. They are gonna be out for blood after what happened.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's gonna
I'm
be the
taking Texans.
Yeah, it's Texans for sure.
Vikings Packers. This is gonna be a game.
Yeah, it is.
I have to take the Packers because they're at home and it's me.
Yep.
I am going to.
I pick Kirk Cousins.
I'm thinking about it, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's a solid pick because neither one of these teams are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a toss-up game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how much did you guys get run on for. Oh, you guys did not get. Okay. So your run defense wasn't that amazing.
It's pretty solid. Well, it's good enough to like get the job. Like Kenny Clark's a really good defensive tackle for stopping the run. The thing is, like I feel like after another week we're gonna be pretty good stopping the run. But it's another thing where it's like you don't know until it happens. Like, I don't know.
I'll take the Vikings here. I think the
All right.
Vikings might
Yeah,
win.
mix
But
it up
I
a
think
little
you
bit.
guys you're probably gonna split this year, honestly.
Yeah,
I've got-
it's gonna be close.
I got the pack.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be one of those things where like the division winner will be like 12-4, 13-3, and then the team right behind him will be like 12-4 or like 11-5.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Redskins.
Taking the
Give it-
boys.
Yep, got to take the boys.
I'm gonna take an upset Redskins pick.
Oh, that's close.
Coaches. Coach
Big Redskins upset.
lost his damn mind.
Seahawks, Steelers.
Steelers.
I'm gonna say Seahawks.
I'm gonna take the Steelers because they're at home, and I think they're ashamed of being embarrassed on live TV in front of the Patriots.
That's fair.
And I don't believe that the Seahawks are that great.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're good enough, but I don't like them either. So I'm taking Steelers. Bills, Giants.
Bill.
I'm gonna take the.
I'm gonna take the
Giants.
Bills. Oh,
Here's the thing. I'm taking the Giants, and the reason I'm taking the Giants is because the Bills, they don't even really have a win. They have, they, like the Jets have like they lost that game themselves, and Josh Allen threw like a bunch of fucking picks.
Rob's
Yeah.
just mad because the Jets lost to the Bills.
No, the only thing that I think the Giants will win because I still don't think Josh Allen is that good, but Bills also
you
have
mean-
like
he did hurdle a man.
yeah.
he did hurdle
The
him.
Bills had the number one defense last year, and
Yeah.
it's probably reasonable to expect that they're still like top 10 this year. So
Mm.
I think this is going to be a very boring game, but I think the Giants might win.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
it'll
going to watch
definitely
it,
be boring.
but
Yeah,
I'm not either. No.
yeah, definitely.
Speaking of boring games, Patriots, Dolphins,
Ugh,
Patriots.
yeah, that's Patriots.
that's
I mean, the Dolphins did upset them last year, but
Yeah.
I don't even think.
That's an Antonio
team-
Brown whiff,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
but no longer Antonio Brownless Patriots, which I can't even believe I'm freaking saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I mean, they
absolutely
just-
insane.
They just shit all over the Steelers without Antonio Brown. What do you think they're going to
Yeah.
do to the Dolphins? By the way, that's my lock. Is the Patriots
Okay.
versus the Dolphins?
I feel like
Yeah.
that's not like we should like get a different like you
I
can't
don't
you
think
can't
we-
pick this lock. Come on, I locked the freaking
It's a-
Browns. You guys are
it's a
playing,
shameful
you
lock.
lost. That's why I don't want to.
you guys are playing way too safe for this garbage. Come on.
I'm picking the
I'm not-
Patriots versus the Dolphins.
Says Rob, who was like, "Oh, I only take the Cowboys if Zeke plays, but if not, then I'm going to give it to the Giants." I'm Rob.
All I'm saying is one of us won our lock last week and one of us lost our lock last week.
I was the one with the balls enough to say the Browns, but they should have won.
And you lost.
Rob with the pathetic lock of the week. Then we move on to the Chiefs, Raiders.
Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, Chiefs. Saints, Rams. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Saints. I hate to say
Rematch
it.
of the championship.
Yeah, I
Hate
had
to
it
say
on my
that.
playoff predictor as Rams, but I think I'm gonna go Saints.
Yep, I hate to
All right.
say it, but the Saints have they've got an easy year ahead of them down there in the NFC South.
You know what? I'll take the Rams in this one.
Okay.
I bet you
I'll
won't
do a little
like it.
mix up. I'll go Rams.
I bet
They're at
you-
home.
I bet you won't like it.
I won't. Broncos, Bears.
Bears.
I'm gonna go
going
Broncos.
You guys
Yeah,
are
I'm
silly.
going Broncos. Here's the thing: they're in Mile High Stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the biggest thing for me is that air's thin. Vic Fangio knows the Bears, and if he knows the Bears, he knows every weakness of their offense. He knows the players. He knows everything. Like I feel like this is gonna be a big game for him, and they're gonna come out swinging.
Here's my thinking. If Aaron Rodgers could only put up 10 points against the Bears defense, how many points do you think Joe Flacco's gonna
Yeah, but this is
Probably
they're
less,
gonna.
but
Vic
the Bears-
Fangio ran this defense for 2 years. He knows these players in and out.
That's
like he
true.
knows all
You're
of
not
them.
wrong.
So I think he's going to scheme around that, and I think that's going to be good enough for them to get the job done against the shitty Bears offense.
Yep.
So that's
So
my
the Bears.
look at it. But I wouldn't surprise me if the Bears won either. But I think it's the Broncos. Eagles Falcons Sunday night.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
I think I'm gonna go Falcons because I feel like it's another like they got embarrassed and now they're playing at home on national TV and they want a redemption arc.
I am going the Eagles because the Falcons are terrible. This coming from a Bucs
All right.
fan.
All right. And then we have the Monday night game of the week: Browns Jets.
Oh
The
God, I
ultimate
forgot.
dinger. I told you you're
Oh.
playing for that spot, Rob. I even said it
Yeah.
during the power ranking.
Forgot it was on a Monday night. God damn.
Dinger of
Oh.
all humdingers. I can't wait.
Booger McFarlane.
Da-da, da-da. Shoot, shoot.
I'm obviously
I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah.
Go Browns.
Obviously, I'll take the Jets, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If they disappoint me again this week, then my automatic picking of the Jets on this podcast is over. So,
Go
just
Browns.
letting you know, Sammy D, if you're watching.
This will be a great game, probably.
Go Browns.
My lock of the week, I'm going to take the Ravens as the lock over the Cardinals.
Oh, risky.
Freaking pansies.
I like how Rob's taking the Cardinals and he's like, Cardinals could do this, and then Sinvicta's like, oh, I'm taking the easy win.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little better than the Patriots one.
We'll see.
How about you, Sinvicta?
I already called it. Panthers.
Oh, okay. Well, it's pretty. I almost locked that one as well, to be honest, but I'm going Ravens.
I hate the Bucks.
I'm going to be honest, though, Sinvicta. If you're going to give me shit for Patriots over Dolphins, you should get some shit for Panthers over Buccaneers.
Why? I'm picking against my team.
Yeah, the 31st ranked team on the Bible of the internet.
Yeah, you can't. Don't try to take this
Dude.
moral high ground.
I'm just taking
I'm
it
like the
against the
Patriots.
If you
over
take
the-
the Carolina McCaffreys and McCaffrey goes down, I don't know if they can pull that one off.
Oh, they definitely can. Jameis will just throw in the dirt 4 times and somehow get an interception there.
All right. Well, that will do it for this week's episode. We actually had a week 1 episode. Amazing. So it'll be the 1-year anniversary next episode.
No, not
Wow.
Star Wars, Rob.
So follow us on all our stuff. Subscribe on YouTube so we can get to 1,000 subs. And yeah, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week. Yes. That's all I got.
Da-da-da.
Bye.
Goodbye.